All right, I'm back with a brand new DCEU update. I have a lot to cover in this video. And first off, I'm going to say I am now thoroughly convinced that the Snyderverse is being restored, and I'm going to prove it to you based off of a post I just saw from Vanity Fair. That'll be the last story I talk about, so stick around until the end. I've got a lot to cover in this video. I'm going to talk about the small stuff first. So first of all, The Joker 2 has officially been greenlit, with Lady Gaga coming in to play Harley Quinn, and that movie is a go, and it's not going to be a full-on musical like some people thought, but there are going to be some musical elements to it. Which leads us to talk about Batman. All right, so the Batman 2. Now, this is quite interesting. The Batman 2 still has Matt Reeves attached to direct and is still in the planning stages. And I'm sure that Matt Reeves and the people behind the scenes are working on the film as we speak. But the funny thing is, it has not been greenlit by Warner Brothers Discovery just yet. This has been making the rounds all over the internet today, and this film is definitely not going to be made anytime soon. And I totally believe that leads, that is going to have an effect on the Snyderverse being restored. So let's talk about the big controversy that has been hitting the internet everywhere. Ezra Miller. All right, Warner Brothers Discovery has been completely silent on Ezra Miller up until now. It looks like David Zaslav has had his back up against the wall. And so I guess some of the board members apparently voted yesterday to kind of go over his head and force his hand, and they have found a way to deal with the Flash movie. And one of three things is apparently going to happen. Either they're going to have the film canceled altogether, or they are just going to have Ezra Miller stay in the background and not be involved in any of the marketing and keep it quiet, or they will have him go on an apology tour. Now, I don't see them canceling this film, but it might not be the worst idea to have it just completely canned. This movie, if anybody has been following the Flash movie, it has been in production hell since day one. This movie was supposed to come out many, many years ago, but it's been marred by changing directors, changing writers, changing everything. And because of the content of the film, it may not actually fit into the Snyderverse, or not the Snyderverse, but Zaslav's plans for the DCEU going forward. And so I personally think that it's really in danger of being canceled and that we may never see that film. And that is what was supposed to bring back, Michael Keaton as Batman. And I could tell you that all of a sudden, since David Zaslav had this investor meeting last week, that everybody's all of a sudden on board that they don't want a 70-year-old Batman. Prior to that, I couldn't tell you how many people on the boards, when I would comment about a 70-year-old Batman, they'd be like, yeah, we're for it. Yeah, absolutely. It's a change. And I'm like, yeah, I never wanted a 70-year-old Batman. That was never what I asked for. And I would love to see Michael Keaton back as Batman as a one-off in the Flash film, as a nostalgic thing. But I don't want to see him back full-time as Batman. I never did. I was interested in seeing the Flash mainly for that aspect of it. But I'm not sold on the Flash story, especially if it's in there to replace Superman, which I do not think is going to happen. And that does lead into the Vanity Fair thing that I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes. I'm actually going to put the graphics up on the screen for you guys to see. So right now it appears that Ezra Miller is with his mom. There were some videos, not videos, but pictures posted where he's just kind of chilling out with his mom. He's got a mustache. He's just kind of chilling out. We don't know what the extent of everything that's been going on behind the scenes is, but we do know he was arrested for felony burglary for basically breaking into somebody's dwelling, and I don't know. I didn't read the story. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to leave that up to the authorities. But there's a lot going on with the Flash film at this point, and I don't think we're going to get a resolution to that anytime soon. So what are your guys' thoughts on the Flash film and what's going on behind the scenes? All right, so let's talk about a few other things. It has also been revealed that Blue Beetle is still getting a release in theaters. That movie is still coming out. Apparently, the Green Lantern show and most of the stuff that was scripted by HBO Max is still going to move forward, but has been put kind of on the back burners. There's also rumors that we may see Leslie Grace as Batgirl still not in the film, but that she may be back to play the character anyway when they get everything retooled and put back together. So there are definitely some big things going on with the DCEU, and it is quite exhausting reading all of the information and trying to weed through it to know what to bring to you guys as fact. Now, let me talk about why I honestly believe that the Snyderverse is being restored. And, Variety is not just some behind-the-scenes media outlet, okay? They get some pretty big interviews. They get some stuff from the studios that nobody else hears. And I don't know that they have ever been wrong. Now, I haven't looked to see what their stance was on Zack Snyder's Justice League, but just about everybody was wrong on that because everybody said it was never going to see the light of day. Then it didn't exist. But if you follow Zack Snyder on Vero, you would have seen, he even showed that it did exist and that all the naysayers were wrong. Well, Variety just reported today they have some promotional pictures from Black Adam. So Black Adam is the only DC film that is still scheduled to get released this year. And we're going to see The Rock finally bring his character to fruition that he's been working on for about 15 years, if I'm not mistaken. And what's great about what Variety posted is they posted some promotional pics, and then they did a follow-up post right below their original post that says, yes, in parentheses, he is itching to fight Superman. Now, we know it's already been revealed that they have reshot the ending, and the ending is specifically going to show The Rock's future in the DCEU, where he is going to be firmly planted. And everyone knows at this stage, and especially with what Variety posted, that he is on the road to becoming a true villain. And there have been rumors out there by some people that in the meantime, waiting for Darkseid to come to Earth with his minions, that the DCEU bad guy for the time being, until they can get that all sorted out, is going to be Black Adam and The Rock. And that could totally tie into Man of Steel 2. Who knows? But I am now thoroughly convinced, based on their post, that Henry Cavill is going to be back as Superman, that he will be in the Black Adam movie. And if they're going to get people excited, what a better way to do it than go see the Black Adam movie and finally reveal Henry Cavill is back as Superman, and that be the launching point for everything that they're going to correct. So that's obviously why they're going to have some reshoots for Shazam and for Aquaman and all these other things that are going on, because I think they're going to get this all to be one cohesive DCEU. And that's what they're looking for. I read an article today where it said they are looking to make one DCEU, one timeline, and keep it like that, at least for the next 10 years. And that's when they would probably do something like Final Crisis and blow everything up. Let's talk about one other story, and that'll be it for the day. There are rumors out there that Greg Berlanti, and if you don't know who he is the guy that created the Arrowverse. He's done lots of shows throughout the decades, but he was the one that was primarily involved with creating the overall Arrowverse. That includes the bad stuff like Batwoman, and, all these other programs like Supergirl with the ultra woke stuff in it. There are rumors out there. Now, nobody's saying that this is definitive, but there are a lot of rumors and a lot of reports saying he's in line to be the DC Films head, to kind of be in charge of everything. I think that's a terrible idea. Unless he is going to have to speak to David Zaslav directly, and Zaslav is going to put his, foot down on a lot of these things. But Greg Berlanti's not a terrible person, but they definitely mishandled the Arrowverse, and that's why it's being canceled all over, and the only thing that's left is Superman and Lois. That's the only show that's left out of the Arrowverse at this point, because everything else has been canceled, including Gotham Knights. That will no longer air next year as a pilot. So there's a lot of moving parts. And if you guys want to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the DCEU, please stick to my channel. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Tell people, if you know anybody who is interested in the DC universe, let them know about my channel. I will be following up on all this stuff and keeping you guys up to date so you can know exactly what is happening in the DCEU. I do appreciate the support. The naysayers can just take off for all I care. I don't care if you unsubscribe or what you do, but until you show me definitive proof that the Snyderverse is not being restored, I will not be responding to those posts, and I don't have to. It's my channel. As always, I do appreciate the support for those who are here for the ride, and I will see you guys on the next video.